Welcome everyone. My name is Sam Brown here for the Team 10K project, and tonight I have the Tom Cassidy, the man behind the Team 10K project, and he pinged me on WhatsApp today and said, "Hey, I've got basically 5 things to systematize this entire process." And I think he just shared them with me. They're really exciting and really things that are going to really elevate our game in terms of achieving the greater reach that a lot of us are looking for in terms of getting the word out there. And so, Tom, thanks for your time tonight. And I know it's late over there. Just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about these 5 downloads that you had today while you were chilling.
Yeah, okay, thanks very much, Sam. Now, so what I did was I decided not to take my phone with me when I went to the farm with the kids this afternoon, because it's always a little bit of a temptation. If you've got your phone there, it's sort of, oh, what time is it, and okay, and all that sort of stuff. So it's really nice to be totally unplugged. We'd been talking about that in the WhatsApp groups, ironically, today, hadn't we? Just being, you know, almost like a digital fast or a digital break. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do that for a couple of hours. Now, what happened is, because I was then disconnected, I'm playing with the kids and chilling, and they, you know, there's a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old, so you don't have to like lead them. They're in this farm where they got pirate ships and all that sort of stuff. So you're there with them, just kind of playing, but you know, watching them and just chilling out. Cindy and baby Thea were there with us as well, and I basically couldn't stop these great downloads coming. And I thought, this is weird. I'm trying to disconnect, and I was having this, well, hang on, but I'm still getting these thoughts, and I shouldn't. Well, this is the whole point. I was finding that if I'm disconnected from my phone, I'm reconnected with kind of the higher phone. You know, the phone that's kind of always out there all the time, sending some cool stuff. And it's a bit like you've got a radio station. This is a good way of looking at it. So I've got a radio, and I can tune in to, I can do my own show and talk about my own stuff and all that sort of stuff, and I'm giving out to other people maybe, or I can tune into a different channel where I'm receiving stuff. And you know, this is a great way of thinking. If I tune in just to the channel where there's stuff happening all the time, there's amazing ideas going all the time, and I thought, okay, well, that's what this is about. I'm disconnected from kind of the noise, let's say, of all these chats and checking your email and all that sort of stuff. Brilliant stuff though it is, but disconnecting from it just gives you that bit of space, and then you've got a bit of space, and it's, oh, here's an idea. So the first idea, the first idea was when we're doing, and this is specifically really towards dealing with the reach aspect of it. I mean, the first thing we're doing in Team 10K is trying to get people to take advantage of technology to actually get the word out about what they're doing. And in this whole domain of starting before you're ready, it's really important to not wait till you've got your actual course perfect before you start telling people about it. You know, start telling people, start getting the word out right away, and then you'll be guided to obviously you'll be producing the course as you go along. We have this expression, don't we, Sam, which is like, we're building the plane as we fly it. You know, in fact, not even that. We're building the plane as we're learning to fly it. So, I mean, we don't know what we're doing. But the thing is, no one out there actually knows what to do either. We're at the forefront of this. We're discovering this, and there's a few things which have come nicely together. One is the technology of the Hangout. The other is the idea of Google being super excited about their own stuff being, you know, towards the top of the search results, and all these things are working in our favor. And I suppose the big reality of this is, look, let's step back for a second. Why is it going to be good for people to discover your stuff when they're looking to solve a problem they've got? It's only going to be good for them to discover your stuff if you've got a solution which is going to really help them. So, you know, that's really important. And in the discovery of your stuff, you've got to give them the solution. You've actually got to give them something that they can use right away. And I think that's absolutely critical. A lot of the time, you'll see people who are great marketers, but then they're kind of they've got that second-hand car salesman thing going on. You know, this program's been amazing. Just watch this 20-minute video, and then at the end we'll tell you what to do next and what product to buy and what program to get enrolled in. And it's obviously it's a very tired way of doing business, and it's totally competitive plain. But my main problem with it is that it's not actually giving the searcher who's trying to solve a specific problem the solution right there and right then. And I think that's what we're doing that's totally different. We're saying that when you get people to click on your video, the first thing you've got to be doing is like giving them something that's really valuable in a short period of time. You know, within a minute or 2 minutes, giving them something that's really, really useful. And I did some videos today with Andrea Porter, who's doing the Entertainment Entrepreneurship Program. And I just watched a couple of the videos with Cindy over dinner tonight, and she said that's the perfect length. That's really good. Love it. It's long enough to be really valuable, and to get some of the story out behind it of the person and pick up on their energy and all that sort of stuff. But it's too short to be, oh, you know, where is this going? Yeah. It's like really useful stuff. Okay, so these are some of the things that I was really thinking about. First thing we're going to do is Sam and I and a couple other people and anyone who wants to join us, really, we're going to be pioneering what's most effective in this whole way to reach people. We've worked out that without a shadow of doubt the best way to get results in terms of speed is to use Google Hangouts. It's hands down the best thing. I got an email from one of our team members, and she said, look, Tom, I wrote blog posts and consistently and dedicatedly did stuff for 2 years to get #1 for a couple of my other entities, should we say. And doing it your way, I've got to #1 on my first day. And I'm sort of going, yeah, but it's not really my way. I've just kind of uncovered it. I just discovered, oh, this is quite good. I watched a bit of a training on this guy who'd started using Google Hangouts as a way to kind of market. I thought that's quite good. And then I got the idea of using some video marketing techniques from normal YouTubers who do lots of short videos, and they're all fairly similar in their title. I thought if we combine those two things, we would probably have a tremendous system, and we do. But what I've realized today, one of the things I realized today was that we are going to be split testing all the various different factors. So it might be that 10 videos is the optimum number of videos for a specific search term, and then you move on. It might be that 20 videos is the optimum number. There will be one after which Google goes, okay, well, there's quite a lot of information from this one or from these two sources on this particular topic. So it might then tend to devalue or not value as highly every successive video. And there might be as little as 4 or 5, we don't really know. And so what we're going to do is we are testing all that kind of stuff. We're working out how many videos to do, and once we've got, say, 10 videos, if it turns out that 10 is the number that doesn't really, new videos coming in don't really make much difference to the search rankings, what we'll do is, you know, if they do, they just kick out the other ones kind of thing rather than, you know, add to it. What we'll do then is we'll start looking at the ways to take those 10 videos and just tweak them. And it might be what you put in the description. It might be there's all sorts of crazy things you can do. Like you can upload caption files. You can get the text, the caption from every single word you've spoken in the video, and you can upload that and put that in the description, and then that's all that text and all that sort of stuff. Now, all of those things, in my humble, intuitive opinion, are probably not going to be as good as just doing more videos, but we'll be able to test that. We'll be able to say, okay, team member 1, you spend 20 minutes a day doing as many videos as you possibly can in 20 minutes. And team member 2, you spend 20 minutes a day doing 1 video and then just optimizing the hell out of it with descriptions and meta tags and all that sort of stuff, all that good stuff, all that SEO ninja stuff, and then maybe linking. And then another test would be, okay, you spend 20 minutes doing 1 video, not optimizing it at all, but sharing it as much as you possibly can. all these things, and then within a few weeks, really, we'll start to get an incredible amount of insight into what things seem to make the most difference, and then we'll just do more of those, and we'll constantly split test about, we'll try tweaking little things until, a 3 weeks time we'll be better. 3 months time will be even better. In 6 months time, even though the word will get out about this kind of approach, of course it will, the two things that are in our favor is, one is we are applying the scientific method to, because we've got all these people, we've got all these architects that can all contribute in a kind of crowdsourced scientific experiment, the best way to do all these little tweaks. And so we will have so much. You can't beat open source, really, for developing things and getting information and exploring. If you try to have a proprietary system, nearly always in the long term will lose out, because you can never compete with the teenage bedroom geeks from all over the world. Right? So, of which I probably would count myself. I'm a bit of a tweaker and a bit of a geek, and I love messing around with these things. I know you are as well, Sam. But I suppose that's the main thing that's in our favor, the fact that we are able to crowdsource the really deep scientific tracking of everything. But perhaps the other component of what's tremendously in our favor is that we're not ever trying to trick anyone. We're not trying to do any kind of clickbaiting. We're not trying to do anything other than give the best possible solution to the searcher. Because we know that we've got the solution. We know that we've got awareness of the script, awareness of the sausage machine. We know that we've got the beautifully good stuff. We know that we've got the 13x4 for implementation. There isn't anything out there that's even close to being as good. We've got the evidence, and now we've got the technology, and we've got the strategy, which is, let's teach this stuff to as many people as we possibly can. And let's see if the universe can, well, we know what the universe will do, but let's put a challenge down and say, we're going to be awesome. We're going to teach this stuff to as many people as possible, and we're going to see what happens. And my faith and my way of understanding the way the universe works, and it's worked for my life, and I know it's worked for your life, Sam, and seems to have worked for as many people as have tried it, is that when you're doing things to create more value for more people, greater life for all, the universe can't help itself but support you, and it just turns brilliant stuff. Like, I don't think we've discovered this incredible technology just for any other reason than we're going to do something really valuable with it. And I think that, before we had that, we still had the ability to reach all these people at Udemy, which is fantastic. That's really good, and we'll be able to do all that sort of stuff. That's always going to happen. We had a tremendous product, this idea of taking anything and turning it into 13 things and focusing on 1 week at a time, 13 or 4, tremendous product. We've got the tremendous awareness tools, my mentor, Richard Wilkins, and all that sort of stuff. We've got the perspective and the Wallace Wattles approach, which is, everything's perfect for right now and it's getting better, and all that wonderful stuff. And now the universe has said, what you do need as well, you need the technology. You need the WhatsApp type experience, but better. So go and build your own app, which reaches into the pockets of individuals. So, once we get our programs, the content put up, and then people download the app and they'll be guided through it on a weekly basis, we'll have that, and we'll have the technology for reaching. That's just been downloaded to us recently. So we've got the entire package. We've got everything. We've got the ability to reach people in the first place. We then got the ability to teach people about our stuff, and then we've got the ability to reach people into their daily lives to actually allow them to, in the minimum will system, make any change that they want, master the crap out of anything. So it's like almost like, oh, this is just too good. But that's that wasn't sort of like the 5 things, but that's just kind of the idea really is that this technology that we're discovering through split testing and tweaking and all those great things, through the crowdsourcing, through learning how to explain and learning how to teach stuff better, we've got all the aces, really. We're not in the competitive plane, we're in the creative plane, which is great. But if we were in the competitive plane, you wouldn't want to bet against us. Because really, we've got everything.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks for that. It's funny that the title may seem a little bit misleading, but I just had a text to go off of, and we started getting into it. You can't compartmentalize this genius. It definitely spills out into lots and lots of different areas. But that's a really exciting aspect of, again, just like Reasonable Wealth is attempting to live out the science of getting rich and really provide data for a longitudinal study of the actual generation of wealth through the creative plane, through our metaphysical powers, and of course our actions. I think this is going to be a really cool experiment, and it's a win-win-win. It's a 360-degree win cycle, because the more we do, the more we're going to learn. The more we're going to learn, the better we're going to become at that. And the better we become at that, the higher, the more ladders we're going to be able to throw down to other people that want to come up and raise their standards, whether it be material wealth or emotional wealth or physical wealth, and whatever way that they deem excitable to themselves, to help them achieve that. I mean, that's a life mission right there, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. And I know Tom, you are too, and all the individuals out there who are involved in this group. It's going to be really exciting. Is there any other aspect that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about basically creating $1 billion company out of nothing in a week, which is effectively what we've done in taking these ideas to the next level, which is, look, we've already proved, we've got 4 people who started Team 10K. Look, they're all on the front page of Google for their preferred search term on day 1.
Wow.
That means, okay, 3 of them in top slot, and the 4th one is, second slot in the main full Google search on day 1. Now, pretty much on any scale, that's fucking amazing, right? That's amazing. On a scale of 0 to completely awesome, that's off the scale. So that's really exciting. But we started thinking, you know what? We need to train people to use some of these things. We need to train people how to do Hangouts. We need to train people how to use Gumroad. We need to train people how to use things like Udemy, even, all that sort of stuff. So here's an idea. What if we're going to do these training videos anyway. What if we're a little bit smart about this and say, okay, and for example, we started doing it with Gumroad. Gumroad's a brilliant system. And so what I've started doing is I've started doing Google Hangouts for training people how to use Gumroad for the architects, because that'll next week, in next week's sort of 10K project, or actually not next week, but in the second week, whenever you're starting, in the second week of your activity, you are learning to set up a Gumroad account and a couple of other things. Well, instead of me having to train people all the time and keep repeating myself, I could do one Hangout, or I could do lots of really short Hangouts. If I do lots of really short Hangouts, it's available on the internet, available for everybody. But I'm going to be super cunning about this, smart, and say, look, what if I call these Hangouts best e-commerce platform for independent artists, best e-commerce platform, best e-commerce solution for creative artists, best for coaches, best blah, blah, blah. Then I'm going to, using that teaching time, 1-minute, 2-minute videos where I'm teaching people how to set up a product, how to create something, stuff that you could probably find out from the Gumroad reserves if you dug deep enough how to do this, but just me doing it in my way will probably be more effective because it'll have my enthusiasm, my energy, and I'm not part of Gumroad, so I'm coming and say, hey, this is why I really like it, I think it's awesome. And the guy who introduced me to Gumroad, a guy called Nathan Barry, wrote a great book on how to become more of an authority in a niche market, and actually it's a really good book. I recommend anyone gets that. I think he's doing it for about $39, but it's a really good book. And then he started talking about, and I bought it on Gumroad, and he started talking about how Gumroad was incredible and it's a brilliant system and it's really nice, and I started using it, and I thought, okay, this is one feather to the bow that people should have, this a presence on Gumroad, because it's such a beautiful experience. If they're coaches, if they're trainers, if they've got any kind of program, this should be one thing. Great, okay, so I'm going to have to train them. But if I can use these search terms, then I can go to Gumroad and say, hey, check out best e-commerce solution for small business. And they will already be #1 in Google for that.
Wow.
And they'll be going, what? Where? And already already Gumroad is #1 for best e-commerce solution for coaches, best e-commerce solution for coaching programs, best e-commerce solution for creative artists. They're already #1 in Google with videos that I've done that teach people these various components. So you're not just trying to say, yeah, it's really good, I love it, go and buy it. It's no, this is actually really useful stuff. And so how interested is a company like Gumroad going to be when we rock up and we say, okay, by the way, guys, check these out. Yeah, we did this. We did it. If you're interested in us doing this continuously or for more or for other search terms, then we'll do it for you. You can pay us for it and we'll do it for you. If you're not interested, just take it as a gift because your product's great and we love it. So it's super creative plane. We're going to do something valuable for our people that is also potentially very, very valuable for Gumroad. And it's a win-win situation. We're going to do it anyway, but just do it in a way that allows more value to be given to more people. The whole point of giving more life to all is if I say, well, I want to create a secure site and I just want to only let my people see it and then put up these training videos because I'm going to spend ages doing these training videos and I don't want all these people that haven't paid to be able to go. You're missing the point of more life to all. More life to all, it means all. That's what I love about the internet. It's like the new nation, isn't it? It's like the way people can think, get them all operating on the same platform. It's non-hierarchical. It really is. It was built to be non-hierarchical. It's any node is just as important as every other node. It's a wonderful model, and we can put some really good, valuable stuff out there for any company that we like. And so that's going to be now. If we take the next 3 months doing all the stuff that we're doing in a group, learning all this stuff about what works and what doesn't, with me pioneering because I'm doing it for my own example, Team 10K, and then all the 10K participants trying all these things and working, tweaking it, we will have an unbelievably powerful army of people who could go out and literally take over the marketing and the SEO, the web prominence, the web ranking aspect of any company we like. And we can choose them. And what about this? We can say, okay, who's up for this? 10 a.m. EST on Saturday. Everybody who's an architect goes online, creates a hangout. This is the title. The title of the hangout is going to be, you know, best e-commerce solution for small business, why I love Gumroad, or Gumroad is awesome. We will all call it exactly the same thing. And we will all do it exactly the same time, and you'll have 10, 20, 30. You'll have a flash mob of Google Hangouts going on. Now, you imagine that, and then an hour later, you go to Gumroad and show them that they are literally all 10 of the top 10 positions for a particular search. That would be incredibly exciting. It'd be a lot of fun. It doesn't take long either. It's only going to take a few minutes each. You know, the results will be up in 20 minutes rather than an hour. And you could just pick. We can choose. I feel like we're rainmakers. This group has got, you talk about the ability to change the world. We could decide to go, hey, let's try and get a company that's really promoting free energy or super renewable energy and just they're not getting as much notice. So let's make them #1 for, you know, energy solutions or something like that, the future of energy. Let's make their product whatever it is they're trying to do. Let's do that. Let's go and do a flash mob for that. And you might do, say, well, we'll do one at 10 o'clock EST, we'll do one at 12 o'clock EST, one at 2 o'clock EST. One day, all it was is 5 minutes at 3 different times in the day, done. 40, 60, 80 videos
Wow.
where we're all saying something. We could even choose slightly different things, or we could even be giving our own perspective on one thing. It doesn't really matter. Because we're all humans, we've all got a super valuable perspective. Way we think is as important. We're as great as the greatest, no better than anyone else, right? So our opinions are as valuable as the valuablest, and so on. And I think people will love that. And just the idea of flash mob, you know, we're kind of this army of positive terrorists, you know, just going around and doing some incredible good. Reverse, I don't know, it's just brilliant. I mean, I had this idea of reverse burglary once where you break into someone's house and you just tidy the place up a little bit and then leave. You know, so what we're doing with this, it's like reverse business. We go and we solve a problem for a company do a flash mob, a couple of flash mobs, we do whatever we do over a few day period. You imagine if we did it in a coordinated way. Let's say we went after a big business that we really liked, who would have a lot of money, that we felt was on the creative plane, but they were getting weighed down with trying to market themselves competitively. We take our team of 5, 10, 15, 20 architects, we do a flash mob 3 or 4 times a day for a week. You know, it's just a minute or two here or there. It's super quick. At the end of the week, we go to them, we send them a quick video of searches for 5 or 6 terms that are really relevant and that they're number one, all the results for everything. We say, do you want to know more? Ding, ding, ding. Even if we didn't, we'd still done something that we thought was good, because we still believed in that company. We thought that company was operating from the creative plane. So it's like, yeah, fantastic. Listen, how much PR are we going to get for this? Just thinking about what you're doing. When people find out what we're doing, say, you can't do that. You can't do reverse business. Too late. We just did. Because we are a non-business. So if we set up a non-company, then it makes total sense that it should do reverse business. The opposite business.
Yeah, that's actually the only way it could possibly work, is to be the absolute reverse of the competitive plane businesses. And one of the things that I think is really powerful about this model is that it gives first. And to me, that is one of the hallmark definitions of greater life for all and a creative plane business. Because greater life for all doesn't necessarily just mean greater life for myself and everybody. It's an actively wanting greater life for somebody else. I want this other person to do as well as I possibly ever could, and I'm going to be active in making that happen. And that's what we do. We turn on the spigot for these businesses that we do use, that are giving incredible value, and that we you can just tell that they're offering not only incredible value, incredible service. And the best thing about it is we choose our non-clients. And by being a non-client, you don't even know you're a client. If we contact you, then it's already done. The work's already been done. And it's the exact reverse of every single other business out there, because typically the client acquisition comes first, and then the product's built, service provided, whatever. No, it's already done by the first time we contact you. And so also by being a non-business on a creative plane with non-clients is that we don't have to work with people we don't want to work with. There's nothing motivating us. The money is not a motivator to keep the doors open, because we're going to do this anyways. And I think that's a really powerful energy that's going to inherently bring greater life to all and for the individuals involved, such to a point where it can achieve that creative plane business. And I think that the more examples out there of the pay what you want systems, businesses giving value before they actually look for a return, these different little niches that are definitely hallmarks of a creative plane business, the more examples there are out there, the more notice it's going to get. And you talked a little about getting PR. It's going to seem like an anomaly to the traditional business world, but what's really interesting is going to be the results and the potency that we get by working with these clients and working with individuals and helping them raise their profile to a point where they're giving value to even more people. It's a self-sustaining process. It's just it's really beautiful. I see a lot of one of the hallmarks of the universe is harmony, and that literally means where every single piece it just fits together, not only well, not only kind of good, but absolutely perfectly. And one of the best examples, obviously, is nature. Look at nature. Every single strata, there's such harmony between every individual aspect and the entire scale of the universe, from the very smallest to the very largest. And I just love the idea of modeling a business after that kind of process. And it doesn't get much better than that when you start thinking about possibilities, Tom.
Well, what's really great is that we have really, I mean, I don't know whether people are going to believe this or take this with a pinch of salt, but we're sitting on $1 billion business in just the app market, the ability to reach through to people's phones and keep them on track for stuff. That's at least $1 billion business. I mean, the money is irrelevant, but it's kind of a nice marker for the people that you've reached. And there's going to be hundreds of millions of people using this system over the next 10, 20 years, without a shadow of doubt, because all the people that I've worked with say, oh, that would be amazing if you had that. That would be so good if you had that. And I've used it, and I've been cobbling together systems, through things like Google Calendars and in the WhatsApp experience and things like that. The results we're getting just using this bastardized collection of, Heath Robinson job type approaches are still incredible. So I know that that's an enormous business, but we will have in the next 3 months, we'll have the succession of great ideas that we have will astound even us now. We'll look back at this video and think, well, we were thinking too small. But the but basically redefining business, because what's really nice is, and one of our guys, Brian Sykes, is a creative plane business guy, and he's dealing with people on the competitive plane all the time, and he's trying to ask them, yeah, I like where you're going with that, but how does it bring greater life for all? And it's just like, what do you mean, Brian? We don't. And so his approach has been, until now, has been, look, I'm going to have to be in the competitive plane, but not of the competitive plane. I'll be of the creative plane in the competitive plane, because at the moment there isn't a business model for the creative plane, and he's trying to create it. Well, we've just created it. We've just created the creative plane business, or the creative plane non-business model. This is how it works. All it uses is an idea, human industry, to kickstart it. That's what it needs. It doesn't need investment. It doesn't need venture capital. It doesn't need any of that sort of stuff. All it needs is the intention to bring people's businesses who we think are good, who are trying in their own business to bring greater life for all. We're just going to catapult them. We are rainmakers. We can just make it rain wherever we like. And I think it's been downloaded to us, this technology, because we're going to do good stuff with it, right? And that's why, if in the wrong hands, this could be used, as soon as the big companies get wind of this sort of stuff, it'll be like, oh, they'll have teams of people doing this. But they won't have the right energy. They won't have the right intention. They won't be doing it for greater life for all. They'll be still on the competitive plane. And I believe that the beauty of Google's approach, even though it's don't be evil rather than be good, they need to work on getting people to focus on what they want and not what they don't want. It's kind of a creative plane business. The idea that you can have an instant communication system for free with anyone in the planet, and Gmail to be able to send a letter to someone that arrives within a few seconds. That sort of stuff is, I believe that they are going to be in business for a very long time, because they are as much on the creative plane as you can really be. So what we're doing is we're betting on the fact that their algorithm will remain on the creative plane, or will get even more creative plane. So it will return and favor the organizations like ours who are basing it not on the latest trick, not on the latest even white hat technique to link loads and loads of web links and all that backlinks and no follows and all that sort of stuff. No, it's actually, how can we give relevance, and not just relevance, but tremendous value to the searcher? In Google's main aim to organize the world's information, we're saying all we're trying to do is we're trying to get we're trying to organize the world's implementation, basically. We're trying to make it easy for people. Look, there is information out there already. We're just going to organize that information into a way that people can actually take action. Minimum world system, organizing the world's implementation. Yeah, that's quite good. I like that. Yeah, just came. So I think there's a number of reasons why $1 billion is an irrelevant number. I mean, but the point is, because something's only worth what people are going to pay for it. You can't sell a non-business. Mm. There is not going to be anything. All it will have, its attributes will be, it will have tremendous value, but it'll be distributed. Anyone who wants to get involved can use this approach. It's open source. They can do. There's no need to. It's not going to have employees. It's not going to have any HR. It's not going to have anything. It'll just be, okay, where are you? You want to do something great. You can do that one. You do that one. You do that one. I'll do that one. We'll all do this one. We'll all do that one. And then what we can do is, with the architects, we can, or the Team 10K members, we can do flash mobs in turn for anyone who's got a program. So we can say, hey, this week we're going to do a flash mob for Deborah. Everyone on just a couple of things you really like about, wealthy women coaching, whatever the program that Deborah's done. And then next week also. So each week we're going to have a coordinated flash mob, and that'll catapult us all. Like, if we're just focusing our own thing, it'll work brilliantly. But if we're also group focusing on everyone's in turn as well, it'll work exponentially brilliantly. And that's kind of what humans do. We like to get into groups anyway. It's obviously biologically and evolutionarily, it's a grouping, a social grouping, a herding or a tribing type thing is obviously evolutionarily very beneficial because we're here. And if it wasn't, we wouldn't be here. So anyway, so I've talked for quite a lot actually. Probably didn't mean to talk for that long, but I'm excited.
Yeah, that's totally fine. It is a little bit of a long one, but I think it merits that kind of discussion because one of the other aspects Tom and I have talked about is doing more of these kind of non-meetings, just live, just for an archive, just for people that want to get inside baseball stuff, but also reminders for ourselves of where we were at and what we were thinking. Again, kind of working off that whole, the Bucky system of kind of really just kind of archiving a lot of this information.
Yeah.
I think it's relevant because I do believe we're kind of on the precipice of a new era where there's going to be a lot more better for a lot more people, and for that I'm really excited to have a front row seat for that, and anybody out there can have a front row seat for it. What would you choose, Tom? What would you choose?
Well, this is a thing. I know there's a bunch of people who've already said, listen, how can I get involved in this project? How can I help in this project? We'll do a hangout over the weekend where Sam and I actually think about what you can do. But we had this idea, like Monday or Sunday or something like that?
It was last weekend.
Last weekend. Okay, last weekend. So not even a week. And it came to me and I thought, oh, well, all this stuff we're doing that's working really well, let's just pick some companies and do stuff for them. They're certainly good. I even thought we could even let companies pay what they want, for the services. And you say, you decide how much you want to pay. We'll work out something as a result of how much you want to pay. We don't really know. I mean, it could be super creative. We might have pay what you want with a minimum, or it might be pay what you want because they can have different levels and something like that. And we'll do more if they pay more. But the idea is, money follows value. So if you can consistently deliver great value, the money's going to follow you. You don't have to worry about the money side of things. And I just love the idea of just, what I'm like. I'm always trying to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. Always. I don't deliberately try to do the opposite, but I'm naturally saying, hang on a sec. If everyone who's an expert in the industry is saying one thing, I'm going to at least explore what the opposite might be. And that's one of the algorithms that I use for problem solving, and that I've documented in my 2 books, the one mainly on maths and logic and the one on science and logic. And it's kind of like, if you are an outsider, and that's why coming to this sort of stuff, not having grown up as an expert in nutrition, means I can ask the questions that nutritionists and doctors don't ask. Not having grown up as an expert in, say, physical fitness, I can then come in and ask that. Not having grown up, not being an expert in web marketing and all that SEO, I can start thinking, hey, well, what if we did this and this and this? I understand what you're doing, and I understand what you're doing, but it doesn't work very well. So I'm going to do something else because it seems to work a lot better. And I know that you're the expert, and I know you've been doing it. Basically what we've done really is we've totally, in one day, we've replicated what thousands and thousands of dollars and a lot of time would normally an expert would tell you it would be. So we've just done that with an idea and a way to use the technology, value-based, that's just come pull the rug. Basically, we just pulled the rug out from underneath the carpet of, or whatever, underneath people's feet, whatever the expression is, on a whole industry.
Yep.
Mental, really. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. I've still got to knock out 3 quick hangouts tonight.
Oh man,
we'll only take a couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, and it's great too because it really, a lot of a productive hangout doesn't have to be totally long, an hour long kind of thing. It can be 2.5, 3 minute song length. But yeah, we'll bookmark it from here. But I just thanks for your time tonight. I know it's really late over there, and you got a little bit more work to do. But it's really exciting times, and for anyone out there that wants to get involved in any capacity, whether you have a program that you're interested in getting out there, or if you just want to start getting around some more brainstorming sessions around these kind of things, because there's way more for everybody, and then some. I mean,
Yeah.
just offhand, just look at nature. There's thousands of times more stuff than we could ever use, and then there's hundreds of millions of times more than that outside of this little sphere, this spaceship Earth that we're on. So it's an exciting time, and I would encourage you to just step up to the buffet table of the
Yeah.
infinite wealth, because it's right there in front of you. Because we're certainly going to be setting a lot of placemats there when you get ready to come over.
Yeah.
Tom, is there anything else you want to sign off with
Yeah,
tonight?
just a final thing. You know, look at Sam. Look at me. Does it look like it's working? You know, this is the thing. Does it look like we're having a lot of fun? Does it look like we're getting results? Does it look like this is bringing greater life for all? You know, can you extrapolate the current actions that we're doing and see how this really, literally could redefine business and can change the way people would think and about value? And I think that this is what Buckminster Fuller talked about. You know, the individual can do stuff that no organization of political or societal or governmental or corporate facets, no organization of that type could ever do, because the individual and groups of individuals of their own volition, coordinated in their own way, can do ridiculous things. And I suppose I'm just delighted, so grateful that we've now got a very, very, very easy way for people to see how this can work. Because a lot of the struggle will be with people. Yeah, I know greater life for all is great and all that sort of stuff, but I can't really see how we can go from what we've got now to everyone being happier, abundant energy, and all that sort of stuff. Also, look, we can now, any one of us, with this technology, with the internet, with what we've got right now in front of us, we can create movements like that. We can promote to the public awareness anyone we want to. And so, you know, the old Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility. But I think of it backwards, really, is that you only get the power if you are a responsible person. When it's sort of, if you're going to do good stuff with it, you'll get the power. And I think that's it looks like it's working as far as I'm concerned. So that's it, buddy. Off you go. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for your time as well, Sam, because I know you've got a family and it's Friday night, and Michelle's probably saying, "Oh God, you're not working again, are you?"
Listen, this is anything but work, and the funny thing about it is you couldn't pay me to stop doing this kind of stuff, and that's kind of when you know you're fishing in the right creative playing hole, is when you're doing stuff that you just get so many dividends from, and it doesn't even have to do with the money aspect, but there's certainly something to be said for establishing that in your life. So I'll see you in the chats, I'll see you on the Reasonable Wealth program, and certainly see you more in the 10K Hangouts as we begin to reveal more of this stuff going, because the plane's flying and we're still looking at the blueprints about part of it. So thanks so much, Tom, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Bye.